It took just over 2 weeks for the US to test a land-based intermediate-range Tomahawk missile following its withdrawal from the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces, or INF, treaty in early August. The agreement, signed at the height of the Cold War between Washington and Moscow in 1987, led to the destruction of thousands of missiles that had long been a source of fear for Europeans. It was clear their countries would be the battleground in any nuclear war. The US maintains it had no choice but to withdraw for two reasons. The Russians had long flouted the agreement, something Moscow denies, and China, which was not a signatory, has been building up its arsenal of intermediate missiles.
These developments by the Russian Federation and China, coupled with their aggressive and coercive behaviors, are key drivers behind a deteriorating security environment. The United States will not and cannot ignore this reality.
But Russia says the launch proves what both the Obama and the Trump administrations have long denied. It's the US that has been flouting the treaty with its deployment of what Washington calls a missile defense system in Eastern Europe. The missile launcher used in Sunday's test is the same model that the US has deployed in Romania and Poland, but with modifications to allow it to launch offensive intermediate nuclear missiles. And Moscow chided the US's allies for sitting quietly as Washington unilaterally nullified another treaty designed to preserve international security.
Do you
really not understand that what you've done with the Americans, step by step, you are returning to a historical situation when missiles were targeting European cities from different sides?
The US's allies, however, did stick to Washington's line, albeit while expressing concern about a new arms race. China also stuck to its long-held line. Its nuclear arsenal is defensive and dwarfed by those of Russia and the US, so it's not relevant to this discussion.
It is unacceptable to use China as an excuse for leaving the treaty. China rejects the baseless accusations by the United States.
In fact, recently the Trump administration has been making it pretty clear it left the INF primarily because of China. The US Defense Secretary even expressing the hope that soon, perhaps in a matter of months, there will be an intermediate-range conventional missile capability in the Asia-Pacific region, though it's unclear which Asian countries would want to host such missiles and become a target, just as Europe was during the Cold War. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, the United Nations.